Today, we're going to be showing you the top 5 scariest horror games ever created, at least in our opinion. If there's any games that we didn't mention that you think are scarier, then comment them down below. By the way, these are in no particular order. Starting off first, we got Amanda the Adventurer.
Oh, this is messed up. If you say no... Oh!
It came out on April 8th, 2022, and has been a pretty big hit since it came out. Basically, a short summary for this game is that you play as a character named Riley who discovers a bunch of strange VHS tapes in the attic of a house that she inherits from her deceased Aunt Kate. They're seemingly harmless tapes too, with each showing a recording of an old kids cartoon known as Amanda the Adventurer. But the tapes are very creepy and kind of disturbing. There are also hidden tapes you can find that explain the backstory of Amanda the Adventurer, and it's even more disturbing. But you'll just have to find that out for yourself because we don't want to spoil that much for you. Also, this game has about 7 different endings to it as well, which makes it more interesting. Next game is called Silent Hill 2. It was released September 25th, 2001. You play as a character named James Sunderland, and he goes to a town called Silent Hill after receiving a letter from his deceased wife telling him that she's been waiting for him at their special place. This confuses James because the whole town was their special place. Once he arrives, he notices the town is nothing like it was before. It's covered with an omnipresent fog and odd humanoid creatures that wander the street. The whole town seems to be rotting away, and you spend the whole game looking for your deceased wife while being attacked by odd creatures appearing out of nowhere basically. And what makes this game more creepy is the 2001 graphics for sure. But a game I think is way scarier is Five Nights at Freddy's. But everyone and their mother already knows what Five Nights at Freddy's is, so there's no point in summarizing the plot of this game. Call it an honorable mention if you will. Next, we got The Evil Within. The game is a creative addition to the survival horror genre. It follows the story of Detective Sebastian Castellanos after his daughter's alleged death and his wife's disappearance. Sebastian finds himself trapped in a living nightmare. This game can sometimes be confusing, as piecing together the story heavily depends on finding documents and collectibles. This game explores the horror of being trapped in the mind of an evil force that only wishes to cause harm. STEM, the machine that transports those attached to it into this nightmare landscape, is an interesting interpretation of science gone completely wrong. Certainly a game you shouldn't play by yourself at 3 a.m. Another game you should definitely not play at 3 a.m. alone is Dead Space. Coming out in October 2008, this game is still probably one of the scariest outer space sci-fi horror games to exist. It's a twisted story of a Borg-like alien race determined to conquer the universe through monoliths called markers. These markers carry an alien virus that will convert whatever species it touches into necromorphs through their corpses. The necromorphs, or reanimated dead, spread the virus by attacking the living until they are the only thing left. As the main character, your options are fairly risky and not likely to have good outcomes. You can never be sure which is the right decision, as the people telling you what to do have pretty sketchy motives the entire game. On top of that, Isaac, the main character, is constantly tortured by his supposedly dead girlfriend, and we're never really sure if she's uninfected or a necromorph by the end of the game. Pretty creepy stuff, but if you like jump scares, alien zombies, and roadblocks, then Dead Space is for you. This game does not fail at having brutal violence and narrative twists at all. Lastly, we have the game called Amnesia: The Dark Descent. This psychological horror game came out in September 2010, and to this day is in the top 3 for most people's scariest horror games. In this game, you're completely weaponless and defenseless, so the monsters will get you in one hit and there's nothing you can do against them except for run. The catch is that the monsters can't see you in the dark, but the problem is, spending more than just a few minutes will cost you your sanity. It's not a little meter in the top right-hand corner either. Your vision gets shaky and your breath quickens until your own panic is all you can hear. This mechanic alone is enough to propel the entire game, but there's so much more to Amnesia. You get super wired. The slightest thing will have you turning tail and running like hell, like a torch that you didn't light, or a doll suddenly appearing when you were checking out a room. Definitely worth the money to purchase this game and have a friend play too. Watching them play this game will definitely be hilarious. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more.